What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and today in this video I have here the new Hubsan Spyder. This basically is the same as the new version Hubsan. It just has a better, sleeker looking body. I think it looks better and sleeker, more sleek. I have the green version. It looks like a little green frog or something, but pretty much it's just a Hubsan. I do have these CG022 props on it. These give it more lift and actually make it more stable, it seems, and it also makes it flip better. It helps it with the recovery from flips, because the Hubsan is known to not really recover well from flips, let alone the way that you have to execute the flips. What you have to do is slam the stick from left to right, or from one extreme to the other extreme, to get it to flip in that direction. So in other words, let me show you guys. You slam it like back and forth to do the flip, and kick the throttle up at the same time. That's the only way that I've known that you can do flips with the Hubsan. Still to this day, I think they really need to update that. Make it easier now that you have quads even like the X11 here that has single button flips. You can just press a button and get it to do flips and stuff, and they recover a lot better than the Hubsan does. Some of them hardly even lose any altitude when it flips. So I just think the flips on the Hubsan just look really sloppy. The way that you have to do them, they're actually fun to do though, because they remind me of doing manual flips as well. But all in all, this is the Hubsan X4 Spyder, or Spyder X4, and this here is the X11, the Syma X11. Someone asked me, they said that it looks like a Hubsan clone, and it does look like a Hubsan clone. However, this thing is different. I was trying to explain to them that this uses geared motors, as opposed to the Hubsan X4 having direct drive motors. So the props, meaning the props are directly installed onto the motor shaft there. So the motor rod actually spins the prop. Whereas here with the geared system, there's a little gear wheel there. Looks like a flywheel or whatever. There's a gear wheel there, a gear, and then there's a little pinion on the tip of the motor shaft that connects with the teeth of these gears and spin it and make it more efficient, which allows for the props to be a little larger, and it makes it a lot more efficient. This thing actually only came with a 200 milliamp hour battery, and it flies for like 7 or 8 minutes with a 200 milliamp hour battery, whereas this thing, even with the 500 milliamp hour battery, it takes that to fly maybe 7 minutes with this one. With that same 500 milliamp hour battery that this will fly 7 minutes with, this thing will fly like 12 or 13 minutes with it. So definitely more efficient with its geared motor system. The transmitters are here. I had them swapped around before. I switched them back the correct way. The Hubsan transmitter is really nice because you can program the rates, but it's a certain point where it won't let you go low beyond when you're trying to take it down low, and that's one disadvantage or thing that I don't like about it. But all in all, it's great that you can program the rates, set them the way you want them to be. The yaw can get extreme on this. You can push the yaw all the way up and have it spinning really fast, so you can slow it down and have it spinning still kind of fast, a little too fast for my taste, but it still works. The problem with having a very fast yaw is it makes it almost impossible to do banking turns, and that's really the key thing about the difference. One of the key differences between the accelerometer and gyro in the Hubsan and the ones that exist in the Syma X11 and just about every other Chinese quad that's out there now. The gyros and the accelerometers are better. The integrity is a little better. They can bank turns a lot. You can do a lot of funnels and stuff with it, and then it'll stay level. Whereas with the Hubsan X4, if you do a lot of funnels, too many of them, you let off and try to hover, it'll lean hard in one direction, maybe back in the corner or forward or wherever. But I'm just going to take these things for a flight, both of them, one at a time, and just show you guys some of the flight characteristics of each. Let's go check it out. So we're going to check out the Hubsan first. As soon as you turn the transmitter on, it binds automatically. So we're in low rates now. Really quiet it is now with these CG022 props on it. That's why it's as quiet as it is. And we're in low rates, so that's the yaw. I got it turned all the way down. It's usually more extreme than that. We're on high rates now. That's what I turned the yaw down to try to allow me to do banking turns. This is the best it banks. Now, even after banking those turns, let me check it out. Let's see. Bank a turn. Come to a stop. Not bad. Let's try spinning the yaw. Now let's try some extreme flying. The Hubsan is harder to control. The 6-axis is it's really snappy, the auto leveling, but it seems it doesn't always know what upright is, for the most part, level. So after all of that, let's see how the accelerometer works. Leaning hard that way. I'm not flying that way. It's just leaning like that. Leaning hard back towards me. Hard that way. So the accelerometer, it gets off really quick, and it'll be leaning hard to one direction when you stop. As soon as you let off the input stick after doing a lot of stuff, it leans hard to one direction. Let's try it again and come to a hover. It's getting out of hand now. Okay, it wants to fly backwards that way. Some more, mixing up. Whoops, I actually did a flip. I forgot when you go from one extreme to the other extreme input, it'll do a flip. Actually, let's put this back on and do some flips while we still have a lot of battery. Let's do some flips. So that's a flip. It actually recovers. You can do the flips a lot better with the CG022 props on. Without these props, it probably would have hit the ground by now. Doing flips. And the wind just picked up too. It helps with fighting wind as well. So this is actually performing better than it normally would. So, but I can take that because the X11 will flip a lot better than it still. So you can recover from the flips, but it's a little shaky now. It's getting a little, it's still leaning a little, but the auto leveling is getting better now. It's starting to catch up. But as soon as you start doing some extreme maneuvers and stuff, whoops, sheesh, I keep losing my now I lost two props. I found one. That black prop is probably long gone. The motors are really hot to the touch right now. I think that's all I'm going to do with the Spyder right now. So on to the X11. Okay, let's check out the X11. And I'm not going to use the Devo or anything. It's just the stock transmitter, to be fair. Okay, here we go with the X11. Doing this little wobble at full battery. It kind of wobbles a little too much power. This is the yaw. Slow yaw on it compared to the Hubsan. Let's try some flips early on. So that's the flips there. Flips a little more smooth, being as though you just press a button to do the flips. Let's do some flying around. A lot easier to control it. Dark forest tree tried to take me down there. But yeah, for the most part, the 6-axis on this thing is great. Even in this one here, you can do flips while flying. Do looping flips. Back up to this car here. Real. Okay, now let's do some shaking around and see how the accelerometer holds up. So not going anywhere on the extreme. A little that way, but it levels out after a while, a few seconds. Here we go again. Do some flips even. Pretty much level. So the accelerometer on this one doesn't get as confused as the Hubsan does. And usually most of the other quads that I've tested don't get as confused as the Hubsan. It's like their 6-axis and gyro are like outdated, or the programming or something. So let's try some flips now again. This one you really don't have any problems with the props coming off because the props are held on with a screw. Props are actually screwed on. To pick a winner out of the two, I would go for the X11. I just think the X11 is a better aircraft. Easily. It flies longer, more efficient. The lighting is better, but that's another thing. It's daylight out here, so we can't really show that. It's more stable, definitely. The 6-axis and gyro doesn't snap back as aggressive, so it's a little smooth. A little more smooth on the snapping back of the accelerometer to level. So all in all, I just think the X11 is a better aircraft. The Hubsan is fun to fly. I love a challenge though, and it looks awesome. As far as looks, I would pick the Hubsan on looks, but as far as flying and flight characteristics, I think the X11 wins easily.